No, this is not a generator. This is a Champion, high volume, but not huge, water pump. The Champion engine is essentially a Chinese clone, but they're good. Actually, these are good engines. I've had very, very good luck working on these. I've had very good luck getting them going. Although because they're a Honda type engine, the carburetors really clog off early. Now this gent says he bought this 15 years ago, and it does have kind of an old style look to it. It doesn't have as many new looking gizmo goggies on it. That's a word. Look it up in the small engine dictionary. Gizmo goggy. So I think he put new gas in it. I'm not sure, but yesterday when it got here, we put it up on my bench over here, and you can still see there's a kind of a sheen of fuel on there, right there. So now we are going to work on this bad boy and see if we can find out why it's leaking. So let's just look at the fuel. Yeah, the fuel looks pretty good. So we're going to take that fuel out of there. We got to do it anyway. To continue on the story here, he bought this. He bought it 10 to 15 years ago, we'll say. Took it down to the swamp. He wanted to move some water from one area in the on the farm to the other. Sometimes farmers pump out their dugouts in the winter, that kind of thing. Don't forget we're on the prairies out here. He used it for a half an hour, put it back in the storage shed, and he hasn't touched it since. So it's got a half an hour of runtime on it. So if we can get it running, this is essentially like a time capsule. So let me get my act together. I just need to go have lunch, and I'll be right back. Time capsule pump. It has oil, and we're going to suck the gas out of it right now. So can we do this? Yeah, baby. Now where's the lowest part of that tank? Right. I think there. Okay, let's get that gas out of there. We're going to use the siphon effect to help us out here. Down here. You guys can just barely see that. Okay, let's get that gas out of there. And you can see how fast this is filling. Now we're going to tilt it. Put it at 2x4. See you guys, nothing is rehearsed on my videos, so you're getting, this is how I work when the camera's not on. That's a beautiful thing. So I think that gas is new. There isn't even any sediment in there. So now, we're going to have a look at the air filter. It's a process, right? I'm not going to put that screen in there, but we'll put that in there in case something falls. This is a nice, look, even the chrome heat guard on the muffler, huh? Okay. Oh, it's foam. You gotta love Champion, eh? I love foam filters. It's not even dirty. So now, we're going to just prime this little guy. And we're going to just use a tiny bit of that fuel for our indication to see if this is going to run. We know there's still some gas in the carburetor, right? So it'd be cool if we could just get that to get it to go. Good. So we're running on 3/4 choke right now, right? Okay. enough of that. 10 millimeter wrench. And we're going to use the ratchet wrenches. See, it's leaking. Well, who knows how it's leaking, right? We're going to just take the bowl off. Looking at it backwards and upside down is weird. Okay, let's see what we got involved in the carburetor here. Oh. So we got green goo in the carburetor, but a clean tank. So for all intents and purposes, this could be a pressure washer, or this could be a high-powered, high-volume pump like this one. It could be a generator. It could be anything, right? The best way to angle this will be either up on end that way or to the back like this. So we're going to just turn it this way. It's cute! I know, how can an engine be cute, right? Are we going to take that carburetor right off of there? Yes, we are. So the only reason why I don't like taking the carburetor off is gaskets. Because where I live, even with Amazon, it takes a long time to get stuff. I mean, I've always fixed stuff, right? It's way easier to get parts now than it was 10 years ago. Vent tube to the... Okay, when you guys ask me, remember this is sitting horizontally, when you guys ask me, how does the crankcase fill with oil? Well, let's pretend we're horizontal. The carburetor fills up with fluid, goes right to the top, through the vent in the air cleaner, and into the valve covers, and then it drains into the crankcase, either through the drain back to the crankcase for the valve lubrication tubes, or it goes right down the valve seats into the crankcase. And that's how you get a crankcase full of oil. I've had 3 this year. Isn't that nuts? One more from over here. Okay, ya wing nut. Now that should pull away. No, we don't do that. The last carburetor I had to pull a motor to get this off of here. I know. We're going to pull these sleeves out of here, and that'll give us just a little more slack. Got it? I got one, so that means I'll get the other. Oh, it's close. So that gasket is not on there. There we go. In the box. Gasket. This will prove whether Bill has had this apart 10 times or not. No, so far they look great, eh? Choke, gas line. Okay, let's see if we can just push that gas line back. You know what? That gas line's pretty stiff. This should just pull off now. We've got throttle linkages. All right. There's the spring. I'll let that go. And then at full throttle, I have to put you down to remove the throttle bar. Nothing's easy, guys. I don't want to take that throttle assembly off there to get that throttle off of there. But I might have to. Oh man, I don't want to take that throttle assembly off of there. I'm going to have to. One and two. It came off. Oh, yeah, it's attached to the governor all right. So let's leave that laying down. So now you'll see what my problem is. See right there? On that throttle arm, there's a slot. There. All I had to do was I just couldn't get at it. Now, is that carburetor going to come off of there? No, it's not. However, I don't want to disconnect this engine from the frame. That would be a shame. I wonder if I can get these studs out. Well, that's fortunate. Okay, you guys, I'm taking the two studs out, and they're actually coming. Let's make sure the other one will come too. If they both don't come, we have to remove the engine from the stand. Should start seeing threads pretty soon. All right. So it's all because of this bar here. We can't get the carburetor to come off, right? Okay, that should come by hand now. Yep. Good. Whew. Now, are those the same length? They're identical. Okay, we should have an adapter on there. I'm going to leave it. Good, that's it for the engine. Now we're going to deal with this carburetor. Okay. By the time you're done, you just about get every weapon in the arsenal out. Okay, after 5 seconds I lose the pressure, but when I close this valve, we'll count to 5, but not out loud. Okay, so with this valve closed, I don't lose pressure. With this valve open, see? It doesn't hold pressure. So that'll be my test when we're all done. The bowl is dirty, but that's not the end of the world. So now, carb cleaner or hand clean? Hand clean. I've had success in both directions. Oh, did the spring come off? No. Don't move, anybody. Oh, I'm going to turn you off. Got lucky, punk. I found the little spring. Okay. Now, carburation. Well, let's get the bowl done. I hate this. Don't you guys hate that? Good. So we're going to open? Are we open or not? Yes, we're open. I think we better do it open. It's gooey. So this is where the Q-tips come in, guys. And we're going to open the valve lapping compound and try that. This is a pretty serious move because this stuff is abrasive. But so is brass cleaner, right? This is just abrasive times 10. So now we're going to dip our Q-tip into the brass. Oh, get our drill. So this is the time of COVID, guys. How are you all doing out there? Here we go. So, lapping compound and instead of brass cleaner in this brass jet. Good. Now let's clean it up and see what it looks like. Oop, wrong one. I'm going to shoot from here too. Or shoot out. Give it a little bit of rinse of real gas. Real gas is the key, guys. Now, let's just check the rest of this carburetor out. Because like I say, this machine is way older than it looks. I think we're going to leave that. We'll poke that in there. One of these should go to the inside of the carburetor. One should go through. Oh, we gotta get the jet out for sure. Kind of slipped my mind there. Putting stuff away so I don't lose it. Oh my gosh, that's a concept yet for me. So look at what happened there. That's ugly. Get the jet out. Benny and the jet. Think that's what he had in mind? Oh, that's so nice. You know, this guy's smart enough to bring his machine to somebody, not that's smarter than he is, but that has done this. I've done this a couple of 100 times or more. How beautiful is that, huh? I bet you it doesn't start because this guy right here is plugged. The jet's not, the emulsion tube's not coming. But for that I have a little Allen wrench that just fits in the holes regardless of the horsepower. So now I'm going to push the emulsion tube out right from the center of the inside of the carburetor. It wants to come, it's coming slowly. So we're going to work it back and forth now, that's okay. Let's get some penetrating oil. I'll be right back. Okay, my friends, sometimes I use acetone and transmission fluid mixed for, what do you call it, penetrating fluid. But the acetone is a bit of an acid, so you have to be careful with it. Now I pushed the emulsion tube down about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to push it back up. There, did you hear that click? We'll just work it back a couple of times, and it's going easy now. I'm using the screwdriver as a lever now. I should be able to get that out with a little Allen key now. Here it is. So thank you, acetone and transmission fluid. You have to keep it in something like this because see, it's already starting to separate. Can you see that? Okay, I think we got this battle won. A little piece of wire should go through the jet. It's not going through. Came in this way, so it came in the back way. So we'll push it out the way it came in maybe. I need my little Donny Boy 73 sticks. There it is. You know it's clogged, eh? Here we go. There it is. Should be able to squirt through there now. Now this is where the torch cleaners come in handy. They're abrasive and you can hear that? That's a beautiful sound. I'm going to go up one size. Ouch, nope, I'm going to go one more. Poked myself with one. I bet you it's bleeding. That doesn't matter. Won't be the first, won't be the last. Not bad. Okay, I'm going to take these gloves off because they're not doing anything anymore. I want to get through there. Let's see, we got 3 here about the same size. 1. Now let's see if we can squirt through it. Just like new. Great. Now the next one is this guy. See if it's, wonder if it's plugged on the length. Yes, it's plugged lengthwise too. Holy smokes. Not bad. Now this is the part of the Hondas that I think are too fine. And it's a Honda clone. But each one of these tiny little guys, and I explain it every time. I know there's some of you that don't mind. Chris from D. Butler doesn't mind, and some of the other guys. And some people can't do this. They don't have, they're physically unable to. I've even had emails from guys that can't get out of bed, say they just love to watch all this stuff. So now I'm just in the process of going through each jet, and I'm getting goo out of each one. If I find one, I'll show you. No? Nope. Nope. Let's try the bottom one down here. Oh, there's one more in the bottom here. Yeah, there's too much of this on the Hondas. They're just a bit too complex for people that just want to use our small engine in dusty conditions. I see everything but these bottom three. That one's not poking through. And some guys, and I don't blame them, they've stopped filming their carb cleans. But I think it's part of my bread and butter, and it's what I do, right? Okay, there's 5 holes I can see through there, 5 holes I can see through there, 6 holes. Yep. So this one's got 5 and 6. We got 6 there and 5 there. Pretty wild, eh? That's clean. Okay, I think we've got just about a clean carburetor. Now I want to shoot some goo through some of these holes here. Okay, right there, that's important. I'm shooting from one side to the other, and you should see gas this is right where it goes into the engine. Should see that. I can't show you guys this. You'll see it someday when you do it yourself. But it feels clogged. And this is where I use my side shooter. And then we try this again. Great. Now we'll get our plastic brush and just clean off the crud off that gasket. I don't think we have anything left to worry about except for this. And a clean rinse of fuel. Thanks, Bill. Okay, now I'm going to put before I do anything else, I'm going to put the needle and seat back on this carburetor to see if we have a seal right there. So I don't know if you guys can actually hear this coming off my tongue, but this is with this valve closed, so it should be closed, right? There should be no air. I pump it in with my mouth and then I let it go with my tongue. Do you hear that little puff? I want that same result with the carb open, with the gas valve open. It is. And it lasts a few seconds too. Okay, I'll do it one other way. Listen to this. I'll lift up this. Did you hear that? I'm going to reassemble this. I'm going to wash my hands, get the goo off, the carb spray, and we'll come back. Reassembly. Emulsion tube. The gas tank looks whistle clean. Good. So now when I've got all this apart, I'm going to connect the gas line. Good. Okay, so I'll just show you that. And then we're going to just bolt this back up. See that? That's the throttle right there. We didn't get a good look at it before. And we need a light. And there's a slot in that guy right there. So to take it out, you move it forward and then you just bend this back a little bit and lift. Believe me. So you come from there to there, and then that lifts out of there. And I'm just Everything's a little bit old and brittle, eh? And now we are going to put the throttle back on. Good. Excellent. Now we are getting there somewhere. Now we have to get this crazy thing on. I know you guys think I drop a lot, but I haven't dropped much in this job. I wonder if you got any of that. That goes on there like that. Gotta go on like that. Now this guy kind of went on one leg at a time, didn't he? Now that should pop right on there. And we shouldn't have anything left except 3 bolts, 1 for the air cleaner, which we won't put on right now, 2 for the securement of the air filter assembly, and 1 for the top assembly. What have we got left? We're going to change the oil after. We got the air filter and the wing nut and no other parts. Let's put some gas in it. Let's put some real gas in it. Not that his gas wasn't real gas, but my gas is brand new. Let's give him 1/3 of a tank. Alright my friends, there's a school of thought out there that says you can't run a pump very long with the engine without water in the pump. But now on pressure washers, I've been told by some old pump guys, old like me, that you can. But you don't want to, naturally you don't want to run them a long time. But you can run them long enough to see if the engine's okay. And that's what this is all for. So we got a 1/2 a tank of fuel. We have throttle control, right? We think. We have the gas is right now turned on. We are on full choke. I checked the plug, it looks good. We have gas running to the carburetor. If we have problems with low speed surging, we can take the low speed or the idle plug out right there and clean that. I didn't want to because I'm out of spares on those. So you do what you do, right? Let's see if it fires. It should. Man, it runs good, eh? I love it. That's factory settings right there. Okay, I'm going to just suck that oil out of there. I could pour it out. But we got the technology. And can you see? It should get right down to there now, I think. Oil looks new, eh? This machine's only run for a 1/2 hour in its life. Well, I hope it runs for you. And one more thing, when you're done with the pump, you should drain it from the bottom here. You might have done it, but there's some pretty ugly looking stuff coming out of there. Still to now, right? So I'll just tilt it, and then we'll get rid of this water off my driveway. Good. Perfection. Thanks, guys.